Hey guys, so far the programs we made just show some output or result on the console and do nothing else. But this program is a little different. Here you can see on the terminal it is asking to type something. It says please enter your birth year. Let's say I type my birth year which is 1992. Bam, you see it tells my age which is 29. So you can see this program is pretty useful and interactive. How do we make programs like this? That's what we are going to learn in this video. First of all, let's learn how to take user input from the terminal. Python provides a built-in function for that purpose, and that is input. What this input function does is it shows the cursor on the screen where user can type something. And if we want to show some hint to the user what he needs to type, for that in this parentheses we can give a string. Let's say please enter your name. Now if we run our program, press here and you can enter your name. And now if I press enter, the program will exit. This is because we are merely taking input from the user and doing nothing with that input. Let's say we want to use the input value in our program. For that, we can assign this input function to a variable. Let's say I make a variable name and assign this input function to the name variable. Now whatever user will type on the terminal will be stored in name variable. So down here if I print name, now take a look, enter name, save, and now if I press enter, you can see it gives my name back on the terminal. So on the first line we are taking the input from user and storing in name, and here the input is save which is stored in name variable, and on the next line we are simply printing the name which is save. Okay, now let's make a simple calculator where user will type two numbers and the program will add them and print the result on the terminal. So on the first line we will write input function and the hint will be enter first number. Okay, and we will store this number in a variable, let's say a, and similarly we will create another variable and ask for the second number, enter second number. So here we take the first number and store in a, and down here we take the second number from the user and store in b. Now that we have both numbers, we can add them. So let's create another variable for that, c, and assign it a plus b. So now we have performed the addition, and finally print the c to show the result on the terminal. So let's run the program. So it's asking for the first number, let's say 5. Now we are on the second line of the program where it's asking for the second number. So let's type the second number, for example 3. Adding 5 and 3 can never give us 53. So there is something wrong here. The program is not adding these numbers, it's simply putting them together. We have something wrong here in our formula. The value of a and b here is not being added, it's being concatenated. We are giving a as 5 and b as 3. They both are numbers. So why this plus is having problem in adding these two numbers? Well, if you try to recall, when does it happen that the plus sign between two values concatenates them? Do you remember? Well, that happens when the two values around the plus are string values. Now, keep in mind, the input function always returns a string value, no matter you type a number. So, when we type 5 in the first line, the input function returns it like this and not like this. So this input function gives 5 in the form of string to this variable, and similarly the second input function gives 3 in the form of string to the b. So here both a and b are string values and not numbers. That is why plus is not able to add them and it puts them together. So what's the solution here? Please pause this video for a few seconds And think about the solution. Well, the solution is typecasting. So a and b are string values, we will typecast them to integer, and for that we can use int function. Wrap the whole input function with int, and this way the string returned by the input function will be converted to integer value. Let's do the same thing with the second input, and this way the second number will also be converted from string to integer. And now if we press run, enter the first number 5, second number 3, and our result is correct now. Beautiful. Now let's do the program which I showed at the beginning of the video. So what the program will do is, it will ask the user its birth year, and based on that birth year it will tell the age of the user. So on the first line we will take the birth year from the user, and we will create a variable birth year to hold that value. Write input function, and here we will ask the user to enter his birth year. Okay, so we have took the birth year of the user. Now we need to take the current year. So let's create another variable current year 2021. Let's hardcode that. Let's create the variable age, and we will subtract birth year from current year minus birth year, and that will give the age in years. Next we can simply print the age, and let's print it in a meaningful way. Your age is, and here we can concatenate the age with this string. So now let's run our program. It's asking for the birth year. I will type 1992, and if I press enter I should get my age. That's giving some error, and it says the error is at line 3, and the error is unsupported operand type int and string. I intentionally made this mistake for you to understand. So pause the video and think about it. Well, as I told before, the input gives a string value. So here the birth year is coming in the form of string, and the birth year 1992 here is like this. So we will typecast it to integer. We can wrap the input with int function. And now if we press run, give my birth year, and again it's giving an error, and this time it's at line 4, and the error is can only concatenate string to string, not int to string. So here the problem is that we are concatenating this string to an integer value. So we need to typecast this age to string, and for that we can simply use state function here, and this way our age, which is integer, becomes a string. Let's press run, 1992, and we get 29, which is perfect.